We have Dhanashree Chaoji, Director Tax at Kyndryl India. Thanks, Dhanashree, for accepting to do this candid Q&A on GST at 6. So you would have read our survey report, and we have surveyed about 600 odd participants, and 94% of them have given a thumbs up to GST. It's been about 6 years. 72% of them have given a positive, thumbs up to the GST. So what's your experience been, and from a Kyndryl's perspective, how's the experience been so far?
Thanks, Madhav. I think it's not surprising to hear the result of the GST survey, but what's surprising to me is that it's already been 6 years. Looking back, it never felt that the big reform, the business reform that's coming, could simplify ease of doing business, could simplify maybe a tax professional's life. But as I look back, I think the journey has been phenomenal and in the right direction. I think state-of-the-art technology has been the backbone of this GST law. 3 big advantages perhaps which immediately come to my mind when I think of GST and my journey would be transparency, increased focus on compliance and data analytics. Going from here, I think using the reports available on GST portal and doing our own internal automation should be where the company should invest in.
Great. And that's a segue to my next question in terms of the usage of the technology. Like, the government has come up with a common portal where lakhs and millions of assessees have been using it for a regular filing of returns or generating invoices or using it for the purpose of e-way bills. And more importantly, even the tax authorities have been using this for communicating with the taxpayers. So how do you think that has again impacted companies? Has it made things easier as a tax professional for the purpose of meeting regular compliances, or is it become more of a additional burden to reply or to look into these compliances?
Again, I think you're touching the point on technology, right, Madhav? Very young law. In 2017 it was implemented, and by 2020 we have introduced and adopted e-invoicing to a large extent. So companies have adopted this huge transformation, invested in technology. I do believe we are kind of the front runners here when I look at maybe some parts of the rest of the world. I think there is a lot that can be learned from India. There is an end-to-end, e-reporting, e-invoicing. So we are in the right direction. We've seen from an industry standpoint, huge advantages. You can, real-time track your invoices. There is the right credit availability, lesser frauds. So, as I said, phenomenal and very, very, I think it has been a game changer.
So Mahesh, what's your take on the technology?
Well, I think Dhanashree said it all. Just to me, 2-3 points from the survey that come out which substantiate what she's saying and giving a nuance. One, from a large and very large companies, it's been 94 to 99% that gave a thumbs up for e-invoicing. The MSMEs are still at 70. I, as a betting guy, would say next year, if I were to bet, it's going to increase, and the MSME will embrace it more thanks to the outreach from the government and different options and methods given to embrace this technology changes. Also, different elements of the technology have been responded by the participants. There's been a huge thumbs up for the overall e-reporting and e-invoicing. Some suggestions around automation on the registration front and refund could be something that the government could consider, Madhav.
Yeah, that's good to note. And now MSME is talking about it. It's like 5 crores and above. We'll have to now start with e-invoicing from August onwards. I'm hoping that they're all ready for it. Okay, great. So Dhanashree and Mahesh, both, what's your take on ease of doing business in India, especially again from a GST perspective, with so many returns, so much of audits or so much of investigation that's going on, and some of the participants have felt that that's the first issue that the government needs to address in terms of the dual investigations and dual audits, enforcements by both central government and the state government tax authorities. So what's your take on that?
Very relevant question, Madhav, and something that is playing on each tax head's mind, I would say, in India, because we are now 6 years into the journey. I'm sure we are looking at some assessments, appeals coming up our way. It would be nice to have perhaps a standard operating procedure for handling assessments and appeals from the department across all states. It would help industry meet the requirements as well as help reduce the administrative burden on the GST department, I would say.
Well, Dhanashree, articulated well in terms of the aspects on ease of doing business. I just wanted to make two call-outs. Our ranking of issues, dual investigation stands out as number one, and dealing with audits is number two. I think we need to understand it's a balancing act because it's year 7. There will be increased audits. The tax authorities have to meet the requirement as per the law, and industry will have to, constantly, in a way, submit all details and go through the journey together. One of the aspects from a service industry standpoint is 98% of our respondents are hoping for clarification for pan-India business operations from a self-supply and IST. I do hope that clarification comes, and that will ease a lot on the audits as well, Madhav.
Yeah, that's useful and relevant insights, Mahesh. Thank you, Dhanashree. Thank you, Mahesh, for your time.